Since taking over last August, there were a few things that I really wanted to get accomplished. The first thing was there were three areas I really wanted to try to stabilize. The first one was the financial situation here in the athletic department. Just like all mid-majors, finances are a pretty difficult thing. We had some pretty significant challenges, but through the help of a lot of youth, the university, our coaches, and administrators tightening their belt, we actually made significant progress. We're not out of the woods financially yet, but we're in pretty good shape. The other things that really needed to kind of get done was to put into place processes that will make us much more efficient in everything that we do. And the second thing was to really deal with the personnel issues that were facing us. I feel good about the people that we've brought on board. We have some terrifically talented administrators and coaches who I think are going to really do a great job in the future. But as all of you know, this is a really tough time in college athletics. The lack of leadership within the NCAA has really created a very difficult environment for every athletic department across the country, with NIL, with the transfer portal, with the conference realignment mess that's going on right now, and then other things like social media, the youth sports model that is our student athletes have come out of, and influencers that are changing the way people look at things. It's a really difficult time for college athletics departments. But what I wanted to do is really sit down and plan a strategy. Is how are we going to develop a path forward to create a situation where ETSU athletics is successful. And as I talk to coaches, administrators, other folks in college athletics across the country, the one thing that became very clear to me is we really need to focus on the student athlete experience. In the past, most athletic departments have really focused on two things, and that's the performance of the student athlete on the court, on the diamond, on the field, and also focused on their academic success. But in today's world, because our student athletes have come through a very different experience than student athletes even as little as 5 years ago, we really need to have a whole different way of engaging with our student athletes. We have to be very focused on the total athlete. We're going to create a holistic approach to how we deal with our student athletes. So as I kind of thought about this moving forward, the one thing that I felt was really important was that we had needed to create a mantra that is really our core values. And the more I thought about it, this is really a success model for our student athletes. It once again needs to deal with the holistic approach to the student athletes. We need them to be good in so many areas, and we have to provide them support in so many different areas. So to do that, the model that I came up with and the mantra was be great, and great being an acronym for, first of all, the G, be grateful. I think every one of our student athletes have so much to be grateful for. They're experiencing a opportunity to play their sport that they love, to get a college education. That's a pretty good situation to be in. Our coaches are coaching at the highest level. So I think our coaches and our athletes need to be grateful. They are resilient. Like Muhammad Ali said, there's nothing wrong with going down. It's staying down that's wrong. So I think anybody that's successful in life has had setbacks, and the ability to deal with those setbacks and bounce back. We're going to really emphasize that with our student athletes. The E is excited. This is a great time to be a college student athlete. Be excited about what you do. Everything that you do. You're 18 to 22, 23 years old. This is the best time of your life. So be excited about that. The A is be all in. You're either all in or you're all out. And we want student athletes who are all in. We want them to be committed to being the best that they can be, to being a part of their team, to being the best teammate that they can be. So be all in everything that you do. And then finally the T, together. If we do this together, if our coaches, if our student athletes, if our donors, if our alums, if our fan base, we all come together, then I know we will be great. So I think, that's kind of what we're going to continue to talk about. And I have developed 10 pillars of this mantra, be great. Of course, athletic performance is important. Academic performance is important. But now we start to get into the other things that have really never been stressed very much in any athletic department. You know, we're going to deal with mental health. We're going to deal with nutrition. We're going to deal with career placement. We're going to deal with helping our student athletes develop networks. We're going to do peer advising, peer counseling. We're going to create a leadership council. We're going to do research into issues that really stress student athletes out there. We're going to make available sports psychology for both our coaches and our student athletes. So I think when we look at these 10 pillars, I think these are critical issues and areas that we really need to develop for us to be successful. Now, I wish I could just flip a switch and all this happen, but it clearly isn't going to happen overnight. These are significant initiatives, and we're working very hard to invest and determine how we can do that, how we can do these things. How can we build fueling stations, for example, in the nutrition area? How can we hire sports psychologists to be available to our coaches and student athletes? How can we build a career placement center so that every one of our student athletes has a good situation once they graduate from ETSU? So those are some of the things that we're doing, but this isn't, like I said, it's not going to be an overnight situation. You just can't flip a switch and make that happen. What we're going to do, we clearly need to figure out a way to fund this. And the way we are going to fund this is we are going to do a campaign. And you'll hear more about this campaign in the future. We're actually going to launch the campaign on August 28th. But I think what you'll hear about is I Give a Buck. And what we want people to do is to, this is a grassroots initiative where we want everybody to participate. I think there'll be an opportunity that you can help make our student athletes have an opportunity where they're going to be great. Once again, you know, I think these student athletes are so important to us. They're so important to our community. They're so important to our university that we provide them a great experience. And we want this experience not only to be while they're here at ETSU, we want them to feel so good about this experience that they become ambassadors. They become the people that help the next generation of student athletes. So I'm excited about our program. Be great. I think you'll hear a lot about it in the future. Like I said, be grateful, be resilient, be excited, be all in, and be together. And if we do that, I guarantee you that we will have a terrific program. We will have student athletes who have a terrific experience, and we will win a lot of games. And the one thing that I want this to be is something that everybody takes pride in, that everybody pulls together, and I know with your help we can be great.